Hey guys, let's get into it. So, there are a lot of sporting goods out there, and very often all of the sporting goods stores we're all selling from the same brands. So, if you sell tennis equipment, chances are you're selling rackets from Wilson and Champion. That just is what it is. There are only so many manufacturers. So, it's hard to stand out from the brands you sell. It's hard to, if you just have this bland generic copy, you're forgettable. And then in the back of your mind, you should always be thinking, hey, what's to stop people if my emails aren't standing out and I'm not really connecting with my customer? People are just going to go to Amazon, right? You really need to stand out. You really need to offer something that's unique to your sporting store. And so that's really what I want to talk today, to give you some ideas and tricks and secret sauce to help you stand out from all the other sporting goods stores out there in your emails. So let's get into it. Here's the formula. There is an author named Daniel Pink. He wrote a book on why people do things called Drive. And there are three basic elements of what are called intrinsic motivation. So the first one is autonomy. That is the desire to be in control of your life and what you do. The second one is mastery, is the urge to constantly improve and add to your knowledge on the subject and just get better at what you're doing. And the last one is idealism and community. This is our desire to connect with others and contribute, and not only just be about ourselves, but to be about the groups that we're a part of. So you can use all of these to make your emails better and stand out to your customers. So we're going to walk through some examples now. So let's start with autonomy, which is desire to be in control. So you can think about your customers as being sort of part of different groups. One of those groups is people who work in offices, which is most of us. So for those groups, you can say autonomy, hey, office worker, this is how you can challenge yourself. This is how you can, if your work is bland and you want more control, this is doing soccer or something you can get really good at. Another one is parents who want to keep up with their kids, right? So if you're feeling fatigued, you can't keep up with your 2, 3, 4-year-olds that are running around. Take up sports with them, you're going to develop muscles and better be able to run around with them. And then another example is older people. They might be worried about losing their muscle tone or their stamina. And you can say, hey, older people, if you are looking to be active into your later years, a great way to do that is to take up a gentle sport like pickleball or swimming. And so that you can really tap into that drive for maintaining control of how they want to be seen and how they want to move around. So that was autonomy, being in control. Second one is mastery, which is the desire to get better at something. So these are your customers that are the true sportsmen and women. They are buying not just sporting goods, but they're buying a better version of themselves from you. They want to get better at what they do, even if they're amateurs. So if you educate people on how to get better, you're going to build trust in your brand. So if you help them get better, they're going to remember you. And so this is an example of, like, if you're selling tennis stuff, you specifically want to call out tips and tricks and then maybe tie that back to people that they really admire. So what can you learn from Nadal about your backhand or your serve that you can apply in your own game and help them get better? And that's why they're going to buy from you. And the last one is community and like idealism. So a great way to tap into this, again, let's look at the example of parents. So if you have soccer goods, you can email your people and say, hey, parents, do you want to connect with your kids and spend quality time with them? Do you want to pass on a love of sports? Well, soccer or ping pong may be a great, easy way for you to do that and have quality time and really connect with your kids in a way that you both can enjoy. So you're really selling that idea of community. To go back to the office workers example, office workers might feel isolated from each other. Well, sports lets you participate in work leagues, and leagues create community. So you might want to provide links to materials to starting up work leagues. And so really think about that. Think that you're not selling soccer balls, you're selling a sense of belonging. And another example of this is for churches and synagogues. You can say, would you like to get more involved in your religious group? You're not sure how. Sports can be a great way to do that. So think a little bit outside the box. So just in summary, you have to stand out, right? There are so many people selling the exact same brands and of sporting stuff, and the way to do it is to connect with your customers on these kind of higher drives of autonomy, mastery, and community. All right, so that's your tip, and I will see you next time.